What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a WrestleMania 41 triple threat, the real reason CM Punk is being written off TV, a wrestler apologizes to Randy Orton, backstage frustration in the WWE Women's division, Tony Khan has a big W helping the hurricane victims, WWE production team was not told of plans, where's Raw Netflix debut taking place, DX drops a hilarious throwback video, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. And now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at rumors of The Rock being in the WrestleMania 41 main event as a triple threat. Atop of today's news is The Rock's return at Bad Blood, and how there are more rumors on how it will not only play out at WrestleMania 41, but it looks to be a change of plans for the showcase of the Immortals main event. On the WrestleVote's Backstage Pass show, they speculated on what the final boss meant when he counted to 3 and gave a throat-slashing gesture. My thought is it signifies that's where we're going for WrestleMania. 1, 2, 3 as in triple threat match. I can tell you that's on the table, but I'm not sure if it's finalized in any way. It's October, so I doubt it's been finalized, but the idea has been floating around, and I think it makes sense for the company as a whole just to get those 3 guys in one ring at one time and push the story to the moon. Our fans were looking at all possibilities of a triple threat match between The Rock, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns. You may recall we actually discussed this in our Real Reason The Rock returned at Bad Blood video. While their comments are nothing new, they do reflect a growing belief that the WWE wants to raise the stakes for WrestleMania 41. They seem to set up a Rock vs Cody match for WrestleMania last spring when The Rock confronted Cody Rhodes on the Raw the day after WrestleMania 40. And now it appears the WWE could combine 2 dream matches involving The Rock vs Roman, and Cody vs The Rock into one. Despite talk that it's too early to be certain, it's known that the WWE likes to plan far in advance, and this may be their endgame for 2025 show of shows. Indeed, barring an unfortunate situation such as an injury to one of the players, this triple threat may already be locked in. Next up, a fan gets kicked out of a WWE show for a foot incident. Now, unfortunately, creepy fans don't escape wrestling shows, and there was one creepy fan that went too far. According to PW Insider, there was a fan incident at the NXT hotel last night. We were told that a male fan was allegedly caught trying to take photos of the feet of female talent as they made their way through the hotel, and was ejected not once, but twice from the location. Imagine getting banned for life from a WWE show because you were taking pictures of feet, and we already checked, it's not Snitsky. Next up, the real reason why CM Punk is being written off television. The CM Punk's recent comments on Raw have some fans concerned that Punk is mulling retirement after his hellacious match against Drew McIntyre at Bad Blood. As we noted in our story, this doesn't appear to be the case, and now a new report from Fightful states that CM Punk is not expected for the Saudi Arabia show, last we checked, which would explain his absence. Punk isn't a fan of the WWE's business relationship with Saudi Arabia, which is why it seems unlikely he'll ever work a show there due to the country's poor civil rights record. However, this doesn't mean he's hanging up his boots. Next up, WWE switch to 2 hours was not smooth. A Raw's first 2-hour episode aired this week as USA Network cut the show back from 3 hours to 2 as it finishes its run at the end of this year, leading to questions whether the Red Brand's production team struggled with the 2-hour format. According to a new report from Fightful Select, there's a good reason why the WWE didn't have too many problems. As Fightful was told, there were some growing pains with the switch back to 2 hours, but that formatting Raw wasn't difficult as the company has been running 2-hour SmackDowns for the last 25 years. All things considered, Raw put on a solid show, but as we'll see next, not everyone is happy with the 7th October show, as there was backstage frustration in the WWE's women's division. But while there were many positives about this week's Raw, some fans are complaining about the show's 10-woman match. Fightful Select reports there was some frustration internally with the 10-woman tag team match, the perceived lack of direction, and a commercial consuming much of the match last night on Raw. It's a common practice for the WWE to give its women's undercard the short end of the stick when it comes to time constraints, so this doesn't seem surprising. While it doesn't justify the practice, it's a reminder that the women's revolution isn't as glorious as the WWE often promotes it. Next up, an NXT superstar looking for big matches on the main roster. A former NXT North American champion Femi is speaking out on who he'd like to face when he gets promoted to the main roster. Femi, who dropped the title to Tony D'Angelo on last night's NXT, could be appearing soon, and if so, he has big goals in mind, telling Going Ringside that he'd like to face main roster Randy Orton, John Cena hopefully before he retires and leaves us alone, Gunther, Drew McIntyre. Who would you guys like to see Oba face on the main roster? Next up, Tony Khan helps hurricane victims, Big W. and many people are pitching in to help the victims of Hurricane Helene and pending Hurricane Milton, including AEW President Tony Khan. While Khan isn't boasting about what he's done, AEW star Adam Copeland revealed on Busted Open Radio that Khan has provided stealth Starlink devices to Asheville, North Carolina's police to help find people displaced by the storm. Copeland, who lives in Asheville with his family, is reportedly doing fine. Copeland's wife Beth Phoenix informed fans last week, "The Copeland family is safe and gathered together. Thank you to all who have reached out. After days of no cell phones, no power, no water, limited gas and travel, we are finally getting our feet back on the ground." FTR's Dax Harwood tweeted about Khan's help saying, "It took one ask. Tony didn't hesitate any help beyond this." And many wrestlers have donated to GoFundMe pages set up to assist with the hurricane relief. Next up, WWE production was not told of plans. There's interesting news concerning the angle last weekend where Kevin Owens attacked Cody Rhodes after Bad Blood, as he discussed the segment on the WrestleVotes Backstage Pass show, saying nobody in production had any clue because there were no cameras, no lighting, nothing of that nature. So it was quite different going down this road. I wouldn't be surprised if the fan that caught this was a plant just to make sure that they got what they wanted. Fans have praised the angle for conveying an organic vibe, noting how it shows the WWE's continued evolution in its presentation of key moments. While it's obvious that the so-called fan who took the footage was a plant, it still made for a great visual presentation. They went on to say, "None of this was spoken to me or that I heard about it even in the slightest. I'm not even sure how many people knew this was going to happen apart from Cody, Kevin Owens, and maybe a few creative people who designed the idea. But when you have a situation where not many people outside know about it, you can keep it quiet and it came off great." While the internet, particularly social media, makes it difficult to pull off surprises, the WWE and AEW have nevertheless managed to wow fans with some big angles, including debuts and returns. Next up, more good news for AEW. Now, AEW has much to be happy about following the news of its new rights deal with Warner Bros. Discovery, and now the promotion can boast that it's managed to lock down another rising star to a new deal. AEW wrestler Daniel Garcia appeared on Dynamite and announced that he's staying with AEW. The only thing we know about the contract is that Garcia is sticking with AEW despite serious interest from WWE. The Observer informed fans that the new deal was inked earlier this week. The 26-year-old wrestler told fans on AEW's special title Tuesday edition of Dynamite that he wants a championship, and he called out every champion on the roster. Garcia has been pushed lately, including a program against MJF, and it'll be interesting to see what's next for the young star. Next up, where the Raw Netflix debut is taking place. While Raw's Netflix debut is still months away, fans are looking forward to what is being hyped as one of the biggest Raws ever. However, where will the show take place? A new report from Fightful Select confirms what WrestleVotes reported on previously, that the show will be held in LA. Fightful Sean Ross Sapp is reporting Fightful Select can confirm that WWE Raw Netflix debut is currently planned for the Intuit Dome in LA. WrestleVotes has indicated this was the plan recently. Now, as we noted earlier in the week, there are many special appearances planned, including John Cena and several SmackDown superstars. Next up, a young superstar apologizes to Randy Orton. A rookie wrestler, Javon Evans, received the opportunity of a lifetime when he got to face Randy Orton on NXT. There was a spot where Randy Orton was supposed to catch him from the top rope, but it failed miserably. However, Orton did recover. After the match, he repeatedly said, I'm sorry, and Randy telling him, it's okay. Now we gotta say, we loved the more mature and more chilled out Randy Orton. Had this incident happened about maybe a decade ago, Randy Orton would have lost it in the ring. Just ask Kofi Kingston. And finally, DX drops a hilarious throwback video. And last but not least, those crazy middle-aged kids from DX are at it again, this time releasing a State of Union address about NXT that harken back to DX's legendary 97 promo where they promised not to use profanity that would run afoul of censors. DX being DX, they used each word delighting fans. Fast forward to 2024, and Shawn Michaels and Triple H hyped NXT's move to the CW, promising to use words to appeal to their demographics such as flex, slay, and sus. Have you guys seen the video? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.